Hello, my name is Dr. Shambles and today we are going to be looking at my deck breakdown for the blue-yellow ace. Now, because OP06 and EB01 are very close together, I'm just gonna tell you guys the deck breakdown of both sets. So, today we are be looking at the now we're gonna be looking at the OP06. Then I'll show you guys the EB01. First of all, before I go even further and explain the cards, this is Makino. If you have Hiyori, just take out Makino, play Hiyori. You can leave the 4 Sanjis, that's fine. Some people like to play 3 Sanjis and then 3 Puddings, that's fine as well. To be honest, I'm just playing 4 and then 2 Yamatos. I'm playing Makino because I'm not gonna spend 8 euros for each copy of Hiyori, but if you have it, then just replace it, to be honest. So yeah, that's it. Now, let's get into the video. Let's get card by card. So, is this deck viable for meta? Absolutely not. Is it fun? Yes. In my opinion, is actually the most fun deck out of the 3 brothers. Out of the structure deck, this guy is super fun. Unfortunately, he does not have much adaptability and is not very meta. What I mean by this is you're pretty much going for luck. You're pretty much hoping that you do not whiff your leader ability by putting one of the bigger brothers into your life, and then you're just hoping that that bigger version of the brothers, you have a smaller version, a kid's version, that you can play and then just make yourself a permanent 7k leader. This deck has no removal, that's why we're running Red Rock, I'll get to that. So yeah, it's very straightforward, you don't have like any removal, just Red Rock, so yeah. And as soon as this whiffs once, you kind of just lose. Most of the time, like, decks really are looking for that choke point. As soon as you whiff, they go very aggro and they just absolutely murder you. Which is why we have somewhat of other advantage, which is why you're playing Makino and Sanji and this Queen Chanter over here, which is if you whiff on the big brothers, you can try and put them still and then just use one of these cards, Sanji, Makino and the Queen Mount Chanter, to get value out of your lives, because if you leave them face up on your life, as soon as you pass turn they go to trash. So yeah, you kind of want to get them at least some value. So yeah, first of all we have Drake, very good card. Pretty much is the only blocker you're running and you kind of need blocker, but the good thing is he's not only actually strong blocker, he pretty much lets you look at top 5 of your cards in your deck, and if you have something very good, you can place it back on top in any order, which will make your ace not whiff. So that's very good, obviously. If you don't see anything like in always bottom deck, another thing you can do on late game once you have pretty much 10 done, you can play ace, sorry, not ace, Drake, see what's on top, place however you want, then use your ace ability to absolutely, now you know you're not gonna whiff, so you place it, then play the kids version, and that's it. You're a 7k leader with a 6k power blocker, so very good, with one of the brothers, so yeah, very good. Pudding, I think this card is absolutely insane. I really wanted to play 3 of her. She not only helps you to finish game, because most of the time you're ignoring board because you have no board removal, so you're just kind of accelerating the game by just swinging to lives. Most of the time, obviously sometimes you kind of want to swing into board, so you're swinging to lives. Most of the time they will take, because most of the time they have nothing to lose, they have board, so yeah. And then all of a sudden you drop this and they just restart their hand, and that's it. She just really help you finish up game. If you do not finish up that turn, they are pretty low on cards in hand, and you can just attach 1 card onto her to make another swing. So yeah, very good. Next up is Sanji. He's a 2k, very slow card, but he actually goes by Sakazuki. Sakazuki could remove him easily. Red Purple Law, for example, as well. But most of the time they ignore because he's not a body worth bottom decking. They kind of want to bottom deck Sabo, Ace, Luffy, Drake, and so on and so forth. So you want to go second every time, and you are looking for Sanji. You can on your first turn play Sanji. If you not have it, try and play Garp, but most of the time you want to play Sanji. Pass turn goes back to you. Use your leader ability. If it whiffs, you can attach 2 Dawn, make a 5k swing onto leader, and you get the life that's on top with your ace effect. And then it regenerates because you put the top card of your deck onto life face down, so you're not going to lose it. So it's very good. I'm playing 4, many people play 3. I am thinking about playing 3 of Sanji, 3 of Pudding, but Pudding, as you can see, is a 4 cost, so I cannot put it on top with my leader effect. But yeah, I really like to see him putting on the, like, if I see it on starting hand as well as the more essential cards, she just give me good security. So yeah. Next is Satori. Pretty simple. He's a 2k. You can put him onto your life. So yeah. And if you get trigger, you can play him for free. You're actually, I would suggest you to really think hard to play him or not. You actually get really good value to play him. And thankfully, you're going up on hand size, so sacrificing one card to have an extra body, it's actually pretty good, and you can use him to swing into rested characters, so he can help you remove some board, you know, while using the rest to keep pressure onto lives. So yeah, really think hard if you want to keep him in hand or play him. Next is Sabo. I'm just gonna talk about these two together. I don't really like Sabo on OP07. I think you guys already know. We are not going to be playing this. We're just going to be playing the blue version of the grown-up Ace and another version of yellow Luffy. That's a 5 cost. But because they're not out yet, it's just on OP07. You kind of just, like, there's nothing else really that good that you can play. That's just it. You could take away and play some other cards, but that hurts your strategy, to be honest. I actually tried it. It feels good in some way, but I don't know, it's you know, it's just And this Sabo at least has some value. He's actually some board removal in exchange of sacrificing your top life or bottom life. So let's just imagine you have one grown-up version on your hand. You place 2, you see something that you really don't want to add it to your hand, or you just have a better option, which is play Sabo. You put it on top of your life, play Sabo, just straight out of your hand, sacrifice that top life that would get sacrificed anyways because of your leader ability, them being face up and all, and you just remove 5 cost or less from the field. So yeah, it's somewhat of board removal. So yeah, he is pretty good, you know, but having so many versions of the 3 birds just kind of makes the deck not consistent. So yeah. Next is the Ace, the both Aces. Best card on your deck, obviously. I mean, it's Ace with Ace. This guy gets rushed once you're 2 lives. There's really not that much to explain. Makino already explained it, because you do not have Yori. And Shizak, I need to tell you guys something. Although she's not as good as Yori, I need to admit that. If you're going first, she has good value, because people really want to go second against you just to steal your curve plays. When you don't have your curve plays, you're already getting hurt so much. So yeah, so if you want, you can play 2, put 2 dons, place whatever you want on the on top of your life, then just play Makino, get that to your hand, and then you get to see what's on your life, seeing information, which is very valuable. So you can see if there's any kids version, which pretty much makes you able to calculate the likability of you coming across that kid version. And if you see a grown-up version, you can make some plays with that. So yeah, it lets you reorder, so it's actually pretty nice with that play. Next is Garp, just a searcher, not gonna explain it. Next is Luffy. I'm gonna have to admit the new version of Luffy is much better than this one, but he does still have very good value. Pretty much if you have him on the field, you can he helps you a lot finishing game. You can trash one of your life, and if you're at 1 life or less, you just draw a card, so it's really nice. And then he becomes an 8k. So if you have 0 lives, you don't trash anything, you still draw 1 and still an 8k, so that's why he's really good at finishing game. And sometimes, from time to time, if you're playing against Red Purple Law, you kind of want to use this ability to make him an 8k, which makes him really hard to bottom deck with Law. You still go, depending on lives, depending on the number of your lives, you still go up on hand size, which is something you always want to do. Next is Yamato. This Rush Yamato is it's just here because I don't wanna I didn't wanna go that low. I'm just gonna how am I going to explain this? What I mean is, if she's a 5 cost, this means she can go on top of her life, and if you can get her to your hand, she's a 2k. I don't really use her for the rush or the on-play ability. She pretty much can, if you whiff, you can play her and add that top card to your hand, and then you kind of look, not to your hand, sorry, you put it back on top of your deck, and then you can reorder all of your life, just like Makino. But she's at 4k you know, 5 costs, you know, the rush, that means you really can't use that rush. It's good against Sakazuki, I'll give you that, because you can just play her, get the value of the on play, and then you rush by attacking the searchers of Sakazuki. This because Sakazuki has Hound Blaze, I believe that's the name of the event, where they just bottom deck a 2 cost or less, I believe, and give 3k to a character or leader, and they can give 3k to the searchers, which makes searchers really viable to swing with. So yeah, she can help you with that. Next is Gum Gum Red Rock. Pretty much besides Sabo, yeah, I already told you, it's the only removal we run. You can make a play once you're at 10 done, which is, it's a 6 cost, and you can play the Gravity, but I'll get to that. Let me just put it over here, right here. But the play is, you put 2 Dawn on Ace, you search the top deck, you place one of the big brothers, play the little version, the kid version, put that big version onto the field, you're at 7k, and then that leaves you exactly 6 Dawn, which is the cost of the Gum Gum Red Rock. So you're making a pretty good play, just like Drake, you know, you play Drake, make sure you don't whiff. Then you place the grown-up version in your life, play the grown-up version, and now you have a 6k body blocker, as well as making your leader 7k. So yeah, this is pretty much the same. It's a really good effect for late game, just to have somewhat of board removal late game, just to deal with the pressure, because you're going down on lives, obviously. Especially if you whiff, like, you're just gonna go down, and this helps you deal with that pressure. Not only that, if you get the trigger, you can think about using it. Most of the time I don't, but yeah, you can think about it. It's really good. Some people, instead of using this, use the Gravity Blade. This because it takes 2 bodies. The only thing is, this has no limit on their cost. You just bottom deck whatever, so you can take away some problematic cards. This is, in its effects, is actually very much better, and I prefer this card much more. But it's the fact that it's 7 cost that does not let you do that play late game that pretty much made me go Gum Gum Red Rock. Because once you do this, you pretty much can't do anything throughout your turn, and that really hurts the blue-yellow ace. So yeah. And last is just the Queen Mama Chanter. Now the Queen Mama Chanter is just to make absolutely sure that if I put the 5k onto my top life, I will come across any card that will help me get the value of that search, of that putting that card on top of my life. So yeah, I would like to be honest. There was time I was playing 3 Sanjis and 3 Queen Mama Chanter. This is because once you play Queen Mama Chanter, you just get value every time with your leader effect. That's just it. If you get brothers, the grown-up versions of the brothers, and you don't have the kids versions, you pretty much can just add it to your hand. So yeah, that's it, without having to play a 2k from hand to get it. So yeah, it's just really good, but because of space, I'm leaving it at 2. This actually has a good trigger. If you get a trigger, you just play it for free. So it's really nice. If you get like in the first life, it's insane. So yeah. Now this is actually going to be a very big explanation, but let's just go into EB01, which does not differ that much. There you go. That's not that much of a change. Pretty much we are not playing the Queen Mama Chanter, now we are playing Flampe and Makino. So yeah, that's pretty much it. We are just playing 2. And we are playing Sanji's Pilaf. I believe this is the way to go with the EB01, because EB01 is actually gonna accelerate even more than OP06. So Sanji's Pilaf can pretty much compete somewhat with that rush by just adding cards to hand and keeping that hand size very high. Not only that, just like Makino and also Flampe, if you go first, so they steal your curve plays, you can just play this on your second turn. Like you have 3 Dawn, you just play this and you get pretty good value by just drawing 2 cards. So yeah, Flampe, really nice, better than Sanji. Just like if you have Hiyori, just take away Makino and play Hiyori. This is because just like Hiyori and Makino, this is an on-play effect. Meaning instead of playing like Sanji, that you kind of need to, place them before, you'll just look at your top cards, and if you need to add that card to hand, you just play Flampe for 1 Dawn. So yeah, it's just better, and Machino same thing, and the rest is pretty much already explained. We're still running the Gum Gum Red Rock. Decided to create Queen Chanter on the EB01 because I don't really want to draw into it in such an accelerated meta of EB01. Pretty much we are just making sure that we do not whiff with our searchers by having the Sanchez build up. So yeah, this was this breakdown was on the EB01 is much simpler because it just changes like 2 cards. So yeah, so this was the deck breakdown. I really hope you enjoyed. I think my ideas came across, you guys. If you enjoyed, like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.